Good afternoon, everyone. I'm currently driving home from work, and I know you guys clicked on this video for one thing, and that was, in my last video, I lost my hat. Did I get a new hat? And the answer is yes, I got a new hat. Thankfully enough, Sarah pulled through on the anniversary present, and she managed to snag me up this absolute beauty, so I'm happy. However, this is going to perfectly start out today's video. There's a guy in a bus that looks like the guy off, you know the guy off Where the Millers? Ron? Is it Ron? Or I wanted to start today's video off by basically explaining the idea behind my very first merch line, if you guys might like to call it that. So I've had a couple of ideas on designs and stuff that I want to bring to you guys, which would be just very generic plain black and white t-shirts, or it will be other colors if I have enough interest in them. However, it'll be something very simple. It might have a small little like ZB logo on the front. On the back, we'll have something a little bit bigger. I've had to play around with a few designs and I'll put them up on the screen right now. But if you guys like these designs, let me know what you think. You can email me or message me on any social media platform as to if you guys want to order some. At the moment, I'm looking at the shirts possibly being somewhere between maybe $25 to $35 around that bracket. I want to have a very simple design or a very simple logo that I can put onto a cap or a snapback. Something that's going to look nice and simple while it's embroidered. But I couldn't imagine those would be anything over $25 to start off with. And I also had a quick idea on what I think would be really cool, and that would be to have this line called something very special to me. And because this is the first ever stuff that I want to produce, and I know that in the future, because I'll be growing and growing and growing, I'm going to have more and more merch. I want to make this first sort of a very limited stock, a very, very limited stock. So the idea behind having a very limited stock would be I only order what you guys are after. So if you guys send me a message saying, hey, I want a black ZB shirt, okay, rightio. So you place your order through me, and then I will actually source the shirt, get it printed, and send it off specially to you. This way I don't end up with any extra shirts that I can't get rid of, because I know that I'm a very small channel at the moment. However, some of you guys have asked about it, and some of you guys are willing to donate towards me, which is amazing. So therefore, it'd be really cool because that way I only order the shirts that you guys are after. And I'm thinking about calling this line of shirts or this first, I guess, season of shirts would be to call it the original line. It'd be really cool in the future if I was to start making car events that you guys can come to, all over Australia like my plan is. Imagine if you saw someone there, or I saw someone there with an original shirt, like one of the very first designs of the shirt. So that way, if you guys had like an original piece or an original design shirt, I would be like, that guy has been following me since the very beginning, since he had under 2,000 subscribers. Along with that, guys, I wanted to thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. This has been an absolutely amazing milestone for me because it's taken me almost 6 years to get 800 subscribers. And then in the last 8 months, I think, I've gotten 1,200 subscribers. And that's a lot of people. That's like a full high school full of people. That's a decent amount. I'm super stoked with how quickly my channel is growing. Obviously, you want to keep pushing and pushing until you find more and more people that want to follow you. But for me, 2,000 subscribers is still a lot of people, so I'm over the moon. So now I've had a lot of questions about what the actual video is about today, and that is about my university degree. Previous videos, I actually have a university degree in film and television. So this degree entitles that I'm able to become a director, I'm able to go behind the cameras, I'm able to do audio recording, I'm allowed to do boom operating, I could even be an actor. I'm able to do anything that revolves around movie making, cameras, directing, script writing even. I can do all of that sort of stuff. Now, that degree is not exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about the way that I was perceived university would be like. It's something completely different from what I've heard in high school to what it is actually in real life. And I'm going to tell you guys about that now because I know there's a lot of you guys, a lot of the younger generation. Obviously, I'm a P-plater. I'm going to have people anywhere from sort of 16 to 21. That's roughly my age group. So when you're 16 and you're in high school, if you guys are doing the OP subjects, we have a system that's called the OP system. So you can go down two paths in high school, and that is towards the TAFE path, which actually you drop out of like year 10 or 11 or 12, and you go off and do TAFE, which is, you're at school for 3 days or whatever. You're at school for 3 days, and then you go off and you work pretty much a job for the last 2 days or something like that. However, if you choose the OP path, which basically your OP is your end result, you can get anything from a 1, which is the best result, to a 25, which is the worst result of OP you can get. Now let me just tell you guys, going for an OP is not all it's cracked up to be. So let me just tell you guys that going for an OP is definitely something that's very scary to a lot of people, and something that really scared me, to be honest. Since year 11, high school drilled into every single one of our minds that if you're not doing TAFE, you need to get into university. You have to get into university. It's ridiculous. So all throughout those 2 years, I was trying to work my absolute ass off. Year 11 and 12, I was trying to work my ass off. And every single other person in my grade was. We had so many people drop out of high school just because they thought they weren't good enough. But we had so many people drop out just because, you know, they wanted to go do a TAFE course or they wanted to go do something different. For 2 years, about 80 students were told that they need to get better and better and better to get the job that they want when they're older. So also in school, we had a guidance counsellor, and we went to go see him at the start of year 11 and the start of year 12. Now this guy here, pretty much what he said to us is, you need to get a good OP so you can get into university, and you know, if you're going to do the OP path, you need to get into university because that's the only way you're going to get a job when you're older. Now let me just put out to you guys that that is not true. That is 100% not true. Out of the 80 students that I saw complete year 12 after busting their ass, actually get accepted into university and then actually go, I think would have been only 10%. What they don't tell you in high school is the bigger picture. Trust me on this, guys. I've lived through it, and so have 80 of my peers, and so has hundreds of thousands of students living in Queensland. And not just even Queensland, I'm sure it happens all around the world. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I did really badly. And not because I did bad in my subjects. I got B's all throughout high school because I tried so hard to better myself every single day. I got B's all through high school, but the thing is, in high school, the idea behind getting the lowest OP is that you have to be better than everyone else. And that's what they say to everyone. So pretty much in every single one of your classes that you have, which isn't meaning it will relate towards your OP point, every single one of those subjects we are told you are fighting for your life pretty much. You are fighting against every single person in your grade. You want to be better, you want to be smarter on paper than every single person in your grade. Now let me just point out as well, in high school, you are basically a number. You are a number for everything. Every single person grows up differently and has different beliefs about their life and how they want to lead it. But every single person is taught the same. Just think about that. And I got an OP 18, so I didn't do very well. Now, because I got that OP 18, I broke down. An 18 out of 25 is a very low end of the scale. And for me, I applied for 3 different universities and I needed at least an OP 16. And to be honest, that's not even big. A lot of people that I know were getting like OP 11s and 12s, but no, I got an OP 18. So as I said, I broke down into a really bad mental state because I had no idea what I was going to do. So I completely turned off the university path. I didn't get accepted into any of my universities. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I saw everyone posting up they got accepted into university and stuff like that. And I actually lied. I put up on Facebook that I actually got accepted into a university degree to do with film and TV, just because I wanted to fit in and make sure that I felt smart, and just to let everyone know that, you know, I made it, I guess. But that's so wrong of me. And for all those people I actually persuaded into thinking that I got into university back after I just finished high school, I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it. So anyway, I didn't get accepted into any universities, and so what I tried to do is I went out in search of a job. Now, luckily enough, I knew the person that actually owned and ran an electrical store in Gladstone, and so I started working there for a year. I was actually earning more money than anyone else of my friends actually knew about. So all of the people that went into university, you know, they moved to Brisbane, they moved to Cairns, they moved to Townsville, all of this sort of stuff, and they had no money. They got into university, they were doing their degree, they probably had a job, but they had no money. There's no way you can earn money as a student unless you're doing something like an entrepreneurship or something. So that makes me think, like, was that whole thing in high school really worth it? You know, trying to smash it out for 2 years, everyone thinking that you need to get a university degree to get a job. Trust me, you don't need to do that, because 60 out of the 80 students that I went to school with, 60 of them all went out and just got a job. And to be honest, they've probably gotten further in life than people that are still stuck at university. Of course you need a university degree to go into something like being like a doctor or something. Of course you do need a university degree to get into some jobs, but trust me, if you work your way from the bottom and learn everything and throw yourself in the deep end, you're getting more experience than anyone could ever get out of university. So my university experience pretty much started at the end of the year after year 12. So I was still in this mindset that, I need to get into university so I can get the job that I want. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to be a camera person. I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be around that sort of area. So I called up JMC Academy, which is where I studied. And I said, hey, I got an OP16. I'm really looking forward to getting into this thing. And they said, sure, send us in a letter of application and we'll get that sorted. And I'm like, cool, rightio. So I put in all the things, I got an OP18. I needed an OP16 to get into the subject. I needed an OP18. And this was to do a bachelor degree in film and television. So this was a 2-year course filled with 3 trimesters per year. So anyway, I breezed through my application and I got straight in after my phone interview. And I asked them, I only got an OP18, so how did I get into an OP16 subject? And the person that ran me through the application said, you only need to pass the first 2 trimesters to actually stay in the course, so you're fine. And little did I know that the first 2 trimesters actually meant that you got a diploma. Like, you already have a degree sitting right there after the first 2 trimesters. So I started university and then I immediately hated it. I moved all the way down to Brisbane, had no money, no job, and I was just doing this university degree that from day dot, I knew I didn't want to do. So anyway, I told myself, it'd be really cool if I could just live out this first 2 trimesters and get myself a degree, which I did, and I'm really happy I did that. But now I'm $32,000 in debt, and I don't have a job to show for it. Because to be honest, in university, the only thing I really learned was sound. And look, I'm using it now. I'm using sound. I'm pretty happy about that. But as for all the camera work, as for lighting, as for doing all that sort of stuff, I didn't really learn anything. And if you guys are passionate about the job you want to get in the future, you pretty much have learned or self-taught yourself a lot of things you're going to learn in that job. So like me doing YouTube, I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything to do with YouTube in my course. I learned this all by myself. So anyway, halfway through my university degree, I ended up dropping out, and I still have a diploma to show for it, and it's really cool that I have that diploma. And one thing I won't stress enough about university is the fact that I absolutely loved it for the fact that you meet a lot of like-minded people, and I see a lot of those people all the time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're in 11 and 12 and you don't get a TAFE course and you're told your entire high school life that university is the only way to get a job, that is absolute rubbish. I've seen so many of my friends build themselves up to where they are now because they started from the bottom and now they're here. And of course, if your dream is to go to university and get a job through university, trust me, it's the most amazing experience. If you really have a passion to go to university and you really have a passion to get that job, do it, because it's a brilliant experience. I met so many friends and so many like-minded people through university, and that is something definitely worth my money. But as for the stuff that I gained out of it, a sheet of paper, when I could have just done an internship or even built myself up on YouTube, it didn't really work out for me. And it doesn't really work out for a lot of people. As I said, it's drilled into our heads that we need to go to university to get a job. And trust me, that's not the case. So if you're in 11 and 12, what I can really tell you guys is get yourself out there, go try and experience as much as you can. Don't force yourself to stay in a cramped room and study, and write those 2,000-word essays about, how the polar bears are going to become extinct because of global warming in your geography class. Get yourself out there, go get a job in your certain degree. If you want to be a camera person, go out and film with cameras, go buy yourself a camera, go out and shoot photography. If you want to get into the car scene, start doing mechanical stuff. Start working on cars, start working on your first car, There's always ways you can go into a first year apprenticeship through looking for yourself instead of going through TAFE. By all means you can do it, and this is what your teachers tell you to do, but trust me, university is not the only way to get into a good life. I believe in every single one of you guys. Follow your dreams, follow your passions, and that's why I'm here. Even though I've only got 2,000 subscribers, I'm on my way to achieving my dream goal, which is for YouTube to be my job. That would be awesome. Sorry guys, my camera battery actually died while I was in the car. So anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And if I helped you, please leave a comment about your story and how you made it through year 12. Anyway, I will see you guys very soon.